This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger, along with Jay Gatling. And Jay, we may or may not have gotten what we wanted. We're going to talk about that in a little while, having to do with Netanyahu. There's a lot of stuff to break down about that. Obviously, we'll talk about that in a little while. But first, I want to tell everybody we've got a very busy week coming up, actually, and I want everybody to take a look at this. We got a very busy week coming up. Okay. Tomorrow, we have Dr. Robert Malone coming on the show. It's going to be a great episode. Okay. Monday, we have Roger Stone. Tuesday, we have best-selling author Chris Pabst. He is the author of Failure Factory and Capital Murder, two excellent books. And then Wednesday, we have Congressman Marlon Stutzman. And we may be adding to this. We may end up with Ann Vandersteel, investigative journalist Ann Vandersteel, Thursday or Friday. We'll see. That remains to be seen. That's why I haven't put it on here, because it's not a for sure thing yet. But we have, like I said, Dr. Robert Malone tomorrow. It's going to be great. He's going to be here for the whole hour. It's going to be a great episode. Monday, Roger Stone. What can you say about Roger Stone? Political powerhouse, Nixon administration, Reagan, Trump, all of them. Chris Pabst, you're going to like him. He is a best-selling author. Excellent. And then obviously Congressman Marlon Stutzman. So I just wanted to make sure you guys all knew that. That's coming up all starting tomorrow. And I want to say, make sure you guys follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram, TikTok, Apple, Spotify, Live from America TV Network. Here on all of these, we're at Secret America TV. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, every weekday, 7 o'clock. But we're also on the Live from America TV network. Okay. And that's big. That is rumble.com/LFA TV. So, just make sure you guys check that out. Jay, we got a lot to talk about today. It's funny because our thumbnail, and like I said, I love talking about our thumbnails because Eli does a great job. But our thumbnail is me and Jay. I'm recording Gavin Newsom, right? Jay's pointing and laughing at him. I'm laughing at him, and I'm recording him on the camera. And Gavin Newsom is looking serious, and he had just zipped up his pants, and he's looking dead serious. And the funny thing is that there's a poop emoji on the sidewalk, and it says Newsom shits on California. That's the instance of the thumbnail, and it's excellent. You'll be able to see it actually if you go to rumble.com/LFA TV, where we are. It's not up there yet for some reason, but it will be. It will be up there. Okay, excellent. Anyways, let's go ahead and go, Jay. I'm going to tell you why that happens to be our particular thumbnail. All right. David Spade recently had some kind of an interview with somebody. I don't even know who the hell it was with, but he was talking about the homeless situation. And I want to tell you exactly what I found out, because I actually looked into what he was talking about with the whole homeless situation. And I want you to listen to this, okay? So actually, first, I'm going to go ahead and play the first few seconds of the David Spade interview, because I want you to hear this. It's very interesting what he says about California, because he's a celebrity. You'd think he's one of those people that has, the liberal brain rot or whatever the hell you want to call it, mind virus.
TDS.
Yeah. Well, I don't really equate the two, because there are people that are not liberals that also hate Trump. But when I talk about liberals, I'm talking about the woke mind virus. Okay, So here, I want everybody to check this out. We're going to listen to just the first, few seconds.
The same broader problem with people paying.
That's weird. Now all of a sudden it's got no damned volume.
I hear it.
You can hear it?
Yeah.
California.
You hear that?
They're building a $100 billion train to Sacramento, San Francisco area. Said, I don't know if everyone's clamoring
for
what's
it. Going on right now?
$10 billion and probably.
Well, see, I don't know when to stop it. I can't play that. Why the hell can't I hear that shit?
I don't know. I hear him talking. Can everybody hear him talking? Somebody in the comments.
Anybody in the chat, real quick. Tell me if you could you hear David Spade just now? Because I can tell you for some reason I couldn't hear him. That was weird.
Yeah, I hear him. Let me just ask. Yes, they hear him.
Okay, well, I can't play it because I don't know when to stop it.
How long is it? How long is the clip, Jack?
It's a couple minutes long.
I mean, just want to play the whole thing?
I mean, I don't know what the whole thing says if you want the God's honest truth.
Oh, so you didn't hear the whole thing. I got you.
No, I just heard the first. I don't know when to stop it, so I'm going to play it for like 30
broader
seconds.
problem
Just
with
listen.
people paying taxes in California when they're building $100 billion train to Sacramento, San Francisco area. That I don't know if everyone's clamoring for it when you could take 10 billion and probably fix a lot of problems in California. But they keep pushing this 10-year thing about the train. That's just one of the crazy things. The homeless, they lose 20 billion, but they want more money for it.
I can't hear a damn thing.
That's why people get tired of paying taxes and going, well, what are you doing? Gavin Newsom just vetoed.
Okay. All right. I don't know what was said. I don't even know where the hell I stopped it.
You could keep going. He's talking about what he's basically talking about is the train project that we've destroyed him on this show a couple of times, the $100 billion train to nowhere, where not a single track has been laid, a car has been built. And he's talking about all the money that could be spent on things like homeless, take $10 billion and spend it on this or that. You could keep going. He's talking about Gavin Newsom then vetoing, I guess, something maybe that would go to something else other than this train, which they seem to be obsessed with.
It's just so weird that I can't hear it. I don't know what the hell he's saying. But anyways, let me tell you, because the main reason I brought that up is because he's the one that brought this up about the homeless thing. Because what just happened is, listen to this. I want you to hear this. God bless America. I want you to hear this, okay? California spent around $24 billion on homelessness programs from 2018 to 2023. Okay, this figure comes directly from a state auditor's report released in April of 2024, which examines spending across more than 30 homelessness and housing-related programs during those years. A state audit found that there was no tracking and no reliable data on the outcomes or the effectiveness of this spending. The auditor concluded that the state, via the California Interagency Council on Homelessness, yada, 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 did not consistently track spending or results, lacked reliable data to explain why the problem persisted or worsened in many areas, and could not fully assess program success despite the massive investment. Homelessness increased during this period, rising by over 30,000 people. Okay, 30,000 to over 181,000 homeless people statewide, even as spending soared. So spending soared and homelessness soared. Why? Because the more homeless you have, the more money the California government is allowed to throw at the problem. So why would they cure the problem? It's just like with big pharma. Why would they cure cancer when they can treat it for the rest of their lives? Why would Gavin Newsom cure homelessness when it's more homelessness that actually gets you the money? So you don't get money for curing it. Now imagine if you got that money if you cured homelessness rather than if you just threw money at the more homeless you get. If they actually did it by how many homeless you took off the streets, that's the money they gave you, there would be no homelessness. Instead, they do it by how many homeless you have on the streets. So why not attract the homeless? Why not force foreclosures on families so you have homeless people in the streets? That's what happened. And listen to this. Gavin Newsom vetoed, Jay, a bipartisan bill. Listen to this. A bipartisan bill that would have required annual public reports on homelessness spending and outcomes. The bill passed the legislature with unanimous support on Democrat and Republican side. Unanimous support. No opposition votes were recorded in key reports, and aimed to mandate better transparency and evaluation of funds sent to cities and counties. Newsom's veto messages argued the measures were redundant due to existing budget language, yada, yada, yada. Basically, what he did was he vetoed this bill to dodge accountability because of the audit's findings. They want people to not to know where the money goes. That's the whole point. This bill, Jay, had complete unanimous bipartisan support. All Democrats, all Republicans voted for this bill. He vetoed it.
Can they override? Can they override?
No, they can't I mean, they can, but there's no way both of them will do that. There's no way the Democrats will go that far to override. Now, they will vote for something they want, but to override the all-powerful Gavin Newsom, you don't want to do that.
Well, then that's ridiculous. Then you don't really believe in the bill, because if you believe in the
bill,
in
it, it was unanimous.
They voted.
I'm sorry, they're not going to stick there.
Jack, they voted for the bill because they knew that he was going to veto it. Then that's all I'm going to say. That's why Democrats got behind it. Oh, we'll vote for it. We know he's going to veto it, and then we're not going to override it.
That's very possible. That's very possible.
Right. If you believed in the bill and you were voting for it for the right reasons, you would override his veto.
But what I don't understand is there should be, forget the Democrats and Republicans for a moment, because it was unanimous no matter what the reason was. But there should be, every politician that's not in California should be descending on Gavin Newsom right now. The man is stealing money. I actually showed how him and his wife have been laundering money through her representation project, through her other projects, to the tune of almost $7 million just through a loophole where he gives it to her charities, grants, California grants. He steers them to her charities, and then guess what? She pays herself a hefty salary from those charities. It is money laundering of taxpayer money. You heard it right here on Secret America. They are laundering money. Jennifer and Gavin Newsom.
Well, it's incentivized to fail. The programs are incentivized on purpose to fail. It's kind of like during COVID, when you would be incentivized to, first of all, diagnose people with COVID, a death to be recorded as COVID, to have somebody in your hospital being treated for COVID, even though it had nothing to do with it, ventilators being put on people who had no business being ventilated, then they would die. The hospital would get more money because it was COVID related. It's the same kind of concept. It's incentivized to fail. More money flows in. Therefore, it's a never, oh, we didn't solve the problem. We need more money. Because like I said, once you cure it, even if you're incentivized to cure it, once you cure it, you can't then flow more money into it where you can then launder it for the other purposes you want. So it's a never-ending cycle of corruption and theft of our money. That's what it is. And it's pretty much a microcosm of, I think, how a lot of these things work, whether it's at state, local, federal government levels.
No, that's exactly what it is. But there's a reason for that, Jay. It's because, actually, I could cure a lot of the problems in this country right now. I could cure them right now. First of all, instead of getting money for how many homeless you have, you get money for how many people you house. Instead of getting money for how many people die in COVID from your hospital, you get money for how many people you cure.
Of course.
That I can cure most of the problems in America right now, Jay.
Of course. You make the goal actually something that people want, instead of, like I said, incentivizing failure. It seems like a lot of these things are incentivized to fail. So again, Jack, it's funny. You said 30,000 more homeless. Well, Jack, if we didn't spend all this money, it would have been 100,000. Just give us a little more money and we'll get that 30,000 down to 15,000, and eventually we'll kill the problem. We swear. Again,
well, they said homelessness would not be a problem after 10 years. Gavin Newsom said homelessness will be cured in 10 years.
Utopia awaits, Jack. Just give us more time and more of your money. We promise. We swear. It's the same song and dance from these socialists over and over and over again. It's the same damn thing. And they're stealing money on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's the whole purpose. It's got nothing to do with anything else. That is the whole purpose of these programs, Jay, because the more money you can get for failure, by the way, the reason that it's based on failure and not success is they can still launder money for success too, but it's easier to get failure. It's much easier to fail than success. So what do? You base it on failure because you can launder more money through failure than you can through success.
Yeah, and they'll say, oh, we failed a little bit. Like you said, 30,000. We got it down a little bit. Wow. We'll get it down a little more and a little more. Again, it's never ending. And you're right. It's so much easier to fail than it is to actually put the work in and the planning to succeed. Failure, we know how to do that. We have a million ways to do that in government. Anybody could do that, right? Everybody. But it's hard to actually get the job done and not only get the job done, come in within budget and time frames and succeed. Talk about something that rarely, if ever, happens in government.
Oh, yeah. No. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to switch gears here for a second because I want to talk about Joe Kent for a minute, because I understand people are upset about him for, resigning from the National Counterterrorism Center, whatever it is. But this guy was a patriot before this happened. Even Donald Trump said, I'm happy Joe Kent's here. I'm proud to nominate him. If the man wants to resign his position, that doesn't make him any less of a patriot. It's not like he's going out there and saying, hey, I'm doing this because I support Iran. That's not what he's doing. he left his position. Sometimes people just don't agree with things, so they leave their position. It doesn't make him a horrible person or a traitor or a non-American. Okay? He just left his position because he didn't agree with some of the things America was doing. That's fine. It's not like he's going over there, putting on a fucking chic and shooting missiles at America. Okay, but what I will say, Jay, is, you want to know something that's very coincidental to his resigning? I'm going to tell you what's coincidental with his resigning. Right after he resigned, all of a sudden, they opened an investigation into the man.
Hold on.
They opened an investigation into the man.
Hold
the
on.
man is now former director of the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, is under FBI investigation for allegedly leaking classified information. The investigation predates his departure. See, I don't believe that. I do not believe that.
I believe it.
I don't believe it.
I do. And here's my problem with Joe Kent. All respect to his service in the military and everything he ever did.
The man did 11 tours.
All the respect in the world for that.
11.
All the respect in the world. But, and
11.
he's allowed to resign, Jack. He's allowed to resign. He's
Yes.
allowed to disagree with the president. But,
Yes.
but those decisions, especially during active conflict, if he wants to make that decision, I think should be made in a private conversation.
Why?
Not because it undermines the policy of the United States of America during an active conflict. That's my problem with it. I have a big problem with it. And I also have a big problem with the fact that he allegedly leaked. That's the same thing James Comey did. It's the same thing that a lot of people did.
Though? They don't even tell you.
Well, let's find out. It's under investigation. And they said the investigation was initiated prior to this. And
They said it was initiated prior.
Yes,
It's
they have.
And they don't even tell you what the hell he possibly leaked.
Well, it's still under investigation. It's an active investigation. So hopefully we'll find out. And if Joe Kent is ever indicted for these leaks, we'll find out maybe exactly what he leaked, when he leaked. He was also, Jack, on that Signalgate chat. If you remember
he was the national director of counterterrorism.
He was on that chat. Now, how did that chat ever get leaked out? Another question.
You don't remember the journalist did it?
Yes, I do. But was Joe Kent involved in that? Was Joe Kent?
No, he was added to the chat. He was on the chat.
But who leaked out? But we don't know that the journalist is the one who put the journalist on. Had the journalist get on there?
I think he must have always been on there.
There's a lot of questions. He had to have been. I have a lot of questions with Joe Kent. I have a lot of problems with Joe Kent, not his service in the military.
Joe Kent, you might have problems with him, okay? And he's allegedly leaked classified information. I'm putting that aside because that's alleged. If I at least hear what the hell they're talking, first of all, they're saying he allegedly did something. They won't even tell you what the hell he did. They don't even tell you what it is. They don't even say it could have been. They just say, oh, he allegedly leaked classified information. I'm sorry. I don't care if Trump is in charge of the government. Most of the government is still corrupt. I don't believe the government. If you want to suddenly believe the government, Jay, that's on you.
Just because I might believe that Joe Kent leaked doesn't mean I believe the
government.
Why
do you believe that? Because he resigned?
Why do I believe it? Because
he resigned?
It adds up that he left and tried to get ahead of this.
This man is an 11-time combator, and he does not get your benefit of the doubt. Because he wants to resign his position, he doesn't get your benefit of the doubt. What if he wanted to resign because he didn't want it to be a distraction, Jay?
Then he should have quietly handed the president a resignation letter, waited
I'm not talking about that. What if he didn't want the investigation to be a distraction to his job?
Then he should have then quietly left and allowed things to play out. He didn't have to resign.
If he resigns quietly,
he didn't have to resign with Groyper talking points and then run on to Tucker Carlson's show 10 minutes later.
Resigns quietly. Jay, if he resigned quietly, there would have been a hell of a lot more questions than there are now. A hell of a lot more.
Let there be questions.
No. You would have been on this show the next day.
I would have said,
why the fuck did he resign?
No. I would have said, let's ask questions, but I don't need Joe Kent undermining our military. The men and women over there. He's undermining the operation, going out and say, Trump was led by Israel. Those are talking points from one side of this issue.
He didn't say Trump was led by Israel. He said we are in this war because of Israel.
Well, it's the same talking point, Jack, and he's giving ammunition.
He's not wrong.
How do we know that?
He's not wrong.
How do we know that?
It's pretty obvious at this point.
Obvious as to what? How?
Trump even said, I did this to protect Israel.
No, that's not what he said. And
he didn't say that?
What he said.
He didn't say that.
Out of context.
He didn't say it?
Listen to the whole thing.
Wait,
and look at Joe Kent.
Did he say those exact words?
Look at Joe Kent's wife. Joe Kent's wife.
Who the hell is Joe Kent's wife?
Look into her. Look into her. Look into her.
Well, I don't understand what that would have to do with this.
Spouses have a lot of influence on people. Look into Joe Kent's wife, who she is now,
Okay,
and
how
what
about this,
she has
Jay?
said.
Forget the let's put the investigation to the side for a second.
Okay.
Let's put that to the side for a
Go
second.
ahead.
Him resigning
Yep.
and just putting out this letter because it's his own personal thoughts and feelings. I don't see a problem with that.
I do.
Why?
You're a professional. This is unprofessional, and it's not.
How is that unprofessional?
Because, as I said, we're in an active conflict. We don't need
It's
the
not
president.
like he's saying he's
it
not giving coordinates to fucking places for them to bomb, dude.
It undermines the position the United States is taking right now, and it undermines why we're there and what we're doing. People in the media are free to, and me and you are free to talk about that or disagree about it. When you're in that position that he's in, intelligence,
he's giving the reason why he resigned.
Well, you come out and say that publicly in a resignation letter, you are undermining the policy of the United States of America. And as a person who's in the military,
he resigned.
But as a person who's in the military, he should know even more so that is not something you do when we have our troops in the bullseye.
All I can say is
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But all I can say is I am not throwing a man that was a patriot 24 hours ago and was an 11-time combat tour veteran. I'm not just throwing him in the fucking dumpster because he wrote a letter. I'm not doing it.
I'm not throwing the man in the dumpster at all. And I'm very admirable and respect and thank him for his service to this country. But then it doesn't mean that he gets
11 tours.
It doesn't mean he gets carte blanche if he makes a mistake that we
No,
can't
but he
call him
gets the
out
benefit of the doubt.
well, I'm gonna make my not give him the benefit of the doubt. What I'm gonna do is say what I think you did in this case in leaving, the manner in which you left.
That's fine. If you want to say that's wrong, that's fine. That's fine.
what I'm saying.
You cannot call him a traitor. You cannot call him and say he's a horrible person. He's a shitty person. There are so many people calling him a traitor right now.
Who cares?
It's ridiculous.
But a lot of people say a lot of things about a lot of people. Who cares?
Yeah, but that is ridiculous. The man has the right to resign if he wants to fucking resign. Him writing a letter does not make him a goddamn traitor.
I think people will interpret it that way if they want to, and that's on him for giving them that ammunition. Honestly, the way he left Jack, it was a
traitor is thrown
grandstand.
around like racism and anti-Semitism. It's a word that doesn't mean shit anymore.
Well, there's a lot of words that don't. Nazi doesn't mean anything anymore. Racist doesn't mean anything anymore. That's fine, and we could agree that.
Fucking angry, man. This guy served 11 tours. The guy served for the National Counterterrorism Center. He was appointed by Donald Trump. He even said he's still got mad respect for Trump. He loves Trump. He thanks Trump for appointing him in his service. It's not like he said, I hate Trump's administration. Man, I hate Israel for getting us in this mess. Trump is stupid for doing the Iran war. He didn't talk like that. He was extremely respectful in that letter.
I don't think he needed to say what he said in that letter. He didn't mean to mention anything about policy.
I know, but it's his own personal feelings. But it's why he resigned. Why not write a letter, Jay, rather than have people constantly fucking asking you questions?
Well, maybe he could have just kept quiet for a little longer. I'm just saying, in the position he's in, it is a very influential, important position.
That's why if you resign,
and
there's
that's
gonna be a lot
why
of
I
questions.
think on his way out, he should have restrained himself. And I just find it also odd that within 10 seconds of resigning, he's on Tucker Carlson, who is basically spewing his talking points. That's my problem with it. And I have no problem with people who have a different opinion. You could have a different opinion. You could have the opinion that Israel led us into that. We could talk about, but this guy isn't Joe Schmo. He's not like, somebody on our podcast we're talking to. This guy was in a very important national security position, intelligence. So when people like
on our podcast, we talk to very influential people in this.
Yes,
podcast.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Me and you could say whatever we want here, and it's not going to, change the trajectory of a war or the morale
in the future.
Of our
it
troops,
might, maybe not right now,
or the morale of our troops. And
let's
that's
see where we are.
I'm thinking of the most is the morale and the confidence that our troops have in the mission that they've been given by their commander in chief. And regardless,
but what's that got to do with this?
Well, what it does is it says, we're not here for the right reasons. We're not here for...
He's not wrong.
But yes, we don't know that he's not wrong. We don't know.
But then you're allowed to have that opinion, though, aren't you, Jay? Are you allowed to have that opinion?
I am, but if I'm the head if I'm the head of counterterrorism and I'm resigning because I don't agree, I'm not going out in that manner. I think it's wrong.
He wrote a letter.
He didn't do
a backflip on the fucking
It was a grandstand, is what it was. And then he's on Tucker Carlson 10 minutes later. Where's
Well,
the
of course,
motivation?
now
His
he's out of a
motives-
job. But see, the reason Tucker Carlson wanted him on there is because he wrote that Israel got us into this mess.
What?
That's why he wanted him on there.
Listen. I don't think.
Look, the man's entitled to his opinion. That's the bottom line.
He's entitled to his opinion, but he should keep the opinion to himself.
Okay, that's
I think
fine.
A little bit longer.
That's fine.
Wait 5 minutes.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you that. You can take that. But that does not make him a horrible person.
I never said he was a
It does not make him
horrible
a
person.
traitor. It does not make him a Benedict Arnold. It doesn't make him any of that stuff.
I'm not saying he is. I think what he did was unprofessional. I think he was
That's
wrong.
fine.
I'm not in the
That's
man's
fine.
head. I'm
The
not in
man
the
should
man's
not
head.
be crucified for being unprofessional.
Well, I mean, he's in the public eye. He said something. He went about something a certain way.
So
And certain people are going to take it a certain way and run with it. And that's what happens
that's
every day.
fine, but I don't want him being called a traitor when he's been an 11 tour veteran in America. He fought for this country 11. You know how many people have probably done 11 tours in the history of America? A handful of people, probably.
Kudos to him. And mad
So
respect
I'm
to
giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, you can give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not.
Was
I'm
it
not saying he's
unprofessional?
guilty.
Fine.
He's innocent until
Fine.
proven guilty, Jack.
Yes,
He's innocent until
exactly.
proven guilty.
That's
But
America.
he is under investigation,
That's
and
fine.
it was prior to his resignation.
That's
It wasn't
fine
like he
too.
resigned and then they investigated him. So people saying that like it's lawfare. Well, no, he's been under investigation.
Maybe
for a
he
while.
was investigated because he was espousing these particular ideals and they caught wind of it.
We don't know that. And
Exactly. We
it's
don't
also,
know.
It's also alleged that he was a leaker. So we'll find out.
Well, that's
If he's
the
under
whole
investigation,
reason
we'll
for
find
the
out.
investigation. They're saying that was the case. But
Let's
again, just because Trump is the head of the government doesn't mean I suddenly trust the American government. I
I'm not
trust
saying you have
Trump.
to.
I trust Trump, but do you trust the FBI?
I'm
Do
not
you
saying
trust
you
the
have to.
DOJ?
I'm not. I think every situation is the situation. I don't want to broad brush everything. I take every situation as it
You're
comes.
kidding, right?
No, I don't broad brush everything. I think
For the
some things.
FBI,
I think some things the FBI is.
these
Hold on.
two most corrupt organizations probably in the world. Two of the most corrupt organizations in the
You're
world.
talking about the FBI.
Yes.
Okay, I have said plenty of times before you met me that I thought during the Trump administration
Yeah.
and obviously during Biden's administration, I thought the FBI needed to be disbanded. That's how
Yes.
bad I thought it was.
Yes.
Do I
It's
think
not
it's
much better, Jay.
I was just going to say, do I think it's much better right now? No, I don't. I think a lot of it has to be looked at. Maybe
and that's not
stripped down.
Trump's fault.
No, it's
That's
not.
not Trump's fault.
If anything, Trump's the only reason why it's probably not a complete dumpster fire by now.
Exactly. It's Pam
Right.
Bondi's fault if you want the truth.
Well, yes, she's the head of the DOJ. But
Horrible.
I mean, I also what I mean is where I say I don't broad brush everything. Are some things the FBI are doing right now good things? Yeah, they're doing some good things. They're doing some good things with crime. They're doing
Well,
some
when
good
you have
things with
50,000 agents, I would assume some things are done well.
I would hope so, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I say I don't broad brush everything. And I'm going to
I'm
take
talking
each
about the upper
situation-
echelon when I say
Oh,
FBI.
absolutely.
I don't
I've
talk
always-
about. I'm not talking about the everyday FBI agents.
No. I and some of them might suck too. Because listen, I came from a large
Some of them
organization.
suck. Yeah,
Some of them suck too. There were some cops
Not
that I
all
worked
of them,
with
but
that
some of
sucked. No, there was some that sucked. The vast majority were great people and great cops and were there for the right reasons. The upper echelons are always the issue.
That's the main. That's the big problem.
Yes.
I
and
mean,
in this
Todd
case-
Blanche is the problem. He is right underneath. He's the assistant or the deputy attorney general, but he actually runs the DOJ and the FBI. He is the reason that Pam Bondi isn't doing anything, and that is the reason the FBI isn't doing anything. Todd Blanche is the cancer of the American justice system. Mark my words.
Well, just before we came, and I want to be careful when I say the FBI is not doing anything. They are doing some things. Now, when it comes to the people we want to see go down, yes, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just want to be clear on that, right?
Yeah,
not doing
not the rank and file.
Yes. So just before we came on the air, James Comey was once again subpoenaed. We talked about this. I sent it to you. All right. So So my problem is this. James Comey was subpoenaed, and this goes back to Crossfire Hurricane, the Russia, the whole thing was set up with the Russia, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So this was the Obama investigation, and let's hope it goes somewhere. I put out on my post, I said, is it going to be something bad for Comey? Is it going to be a nothing burger? Who knows? Now, my biggest problem, Jack, is that James Comey wasn't served a subpoena while he was behind bars where he already belongs. My problem is that he was probably served it while he was arranging seashells on the beach again. That's
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
That's my problem. But we'll see what happens. I mean, let's see. Maybe this leads to something. Who knows?
And Deborah says that we need to get off the FBI and talk about the CIA. But here's the thing, Deborah. The CIA, we already know, is one of the most corrupt organizations in the entire world, along with the NSA, who are listening to this conversation, by the way. Hi, NSA. Yeah, the CIA, the NSA, and Jay, the NSA actually does have every single communication you make, both verbally and through text. It all goes into their database, like through computers and phones. If you're talking to somebody face to face, maybe not. But on the phone, through the computer, they actually are. Edward Snowden proved that, as a matter of fact.
I have no reason to doubt that.
No. So they are listening to this. Now, is there somebody actually listening at the NSA? Maybe not. But what they are doing is they're running it through a computer system, listening for buzzwords. So the NSA is listening to this. The CIA, I have no reason to believe they're not listening to it too. But those two are the most corrupt organizations in the world. But then you've also got the Department of Intelligence. There's a whole bunch of intelligence departments that people don't know about, Jay. Actually, talk for a second. I want to find these. I want everybody to know about these. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. I mean, let's talk about, if you want, about Kent.
Talk about the CIA and the NSA for 1 second.
Oh, well, I guess the same thing. I mean, the CIA, as we know, has been linked to how many operations in our country. And I learned a little bit more today, Jack, and I'll tell you once we get off the air a little bit about where the CIA got some of their ideas from. And it's not from this country. It comes from someplace where people probably are very familiar with hearing about. And it begins with an R, but it used to begin with an S. And SU, Soviet Union, is where they got a lot of this stuff from. But go ahead.
Oh, no. There's no doubt about that. So let me tell you guys, if you guys think the CIA and the NSA are the big problem, I am going to tell you how many different intelligence agencies there are in America right now. I'm going to name them, the actual federal intelligence agencies. And this isn't just state intelligence agencies, which there are, by the way, SBI and so forth. But there are federal intelligence agencies. Every single one of them monitor what Americans do every single day. So I'm going to name them for you guys. There's the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. There's the Central Intelligence Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, the U.S. Army Intelligence, Office of Naval Intelligence, Marine Corps Intelligence, Air Force Intelligence, Space Force Intelligence, the Office of Intelligence and Analysis, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Office of Intelligence and Analysis, the Bureau of Intelligence and Research, the Office of Intelligence and Counterintelligence, the Office of National Security Intelligence, the Coast Guard Intelligence. There are 18 total intelligence agencies, federal intelligence agencies in America. Do you really think that America needs 18 federal intelligence agencies? No. But why do they have them? Because it makes it that much easier if they split shit up to be able to monitor every single American out there.
Well, I remember when you say the number 18, remember the Russia hoax. And then constantly all we heard, the heads of 18 intelligence agencies agreed that Russia interfered with the election in 2016. We heard it over and over and over again. And the government also uses that for validation. Well, 18 of them said it, not just one. No, we have a lot, though. We make sure we check each other and check.
And they're all run by the same entity.
Exactly. So it's all nonsense. It's 18. And I think it's also a reason to give a bunch of people more jobs in the government to,
my God.
You know what I mean?
Started on the bloated government.
Right. So, I mean, it's just incredible when you say 18 intelligence agencies and each time it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it never, the and blob.
They always evolve.
Mike Benz, the blob, right? That's part of the blob.
Oh, yeah. And they always evolve, just like the OSS evolved into the CIA. They always evolve. They keep going and going and going. So I just want I want to make this clear to everybody. I'm not saying that I agree with what Joe Kent did, but what I do agree with is his ability and right to do it. This is America. If he wants to resign, if he wants to put out a letter saying why he resigned, that's fine. That is your legal right to do so. He did nothing that constitutes traitorous. He did nothing that constitutes anything that would be a criminal penalty. Okay? This particular investigation about classified whatever, we'll see. They tried to get Trump with the same shit. They put the same shit on Joe Biden that never came of anything. They used that particular investigation for anybody that has ever had a security clearance that they want to badmouth. They used that particular investigation. Classified documents leak. They did it to Trump. They did it to Biden. They've done it to many other people, because if you have a classified intelligence security clearance, you have access to classified documents, which means they can open an investigation into whether or not you allegedly leaked classified information. They did it to Trump. They did it to Biden. They're doing it to Joe Kent. It is what it is, Jay. I don't trust the American government. I don't.
Do you think that in the first Trump administration, there were obviously leaks? In this one, early. Yeah. So you admit leaks are happening?
No, leaks are always possible.
Okay. It seems like more so, of course, when President Trump is in office, these leaks happen.
Well, he's got so many people against him.
Because the intelligence agency is against them. Remember what Chuck Schumer said when Donald Trump went after the CIA, when he did go after the CIA, when he first was being elected. They have 6 ways from Sunday or whatever he said to get you.
Well, he's lucky they didn't kill him. He's lucky they did not. Do you know what they did to JFK?
Maybe Jack, I mean, how many times has he almost been killed?
Well, yeah, but see, JFK actually said, he famously said, I'm going to smash the CIA into 1,000 pieces and throw him into the wind. And then he had his head blown off. Yeah.
So what's going on with the leaks under the Trump administration, 1.0 and now 2.0, they're coming from somewhere. So, and it shouldn't happen. And it shouldn't happen because, again, if you're working for the president in some capacity and you don't agree with that president and you don't feel in your good conscience you can carry out the mission laid out by that president, by all means resign.
And he did that. That's and I don't think he leaked classified info because he respected Trump. He put out a letter saying I appreciate Trump. He was a real patriot. I don't see you going from a patriot to leaking classified info and then leaving and then still saying how much you appreciate and respect Trump. The liberals won't do that kind of thing. They use this investigation on anybody, Jay, anybody you want to smear.
We'll see.
Anybody.
We know leaks happen. My problem is with how he resigned. I don't want to rehash it. We know where we both stand on it. I have an issue with how he did it. And I know leaks
you got to admit, right here on the air, Jay, it was not traitorous what he did.
It's not traitorous. Again, the word is used too often.
Way too often.
I think. Listen, treason is a very high bar.
It should be. And
it should be. What I think this
was not criminal.
I'm looking for the right word. To me, it's. I'm just going to be blunt about it. It's a scumbag move. I think
it's not that far, Jay. It would have been different if he said he hated Trump and he hated his policies, and that's why he was leaving.
In fact, it's almost patronizing. I love the guy, but here, let's turn around real fast. Boom, here's your back.
No, he was right. He said he said, look, I appreciate Trump. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to serve under you. I just don't agree with this war. That's fine. That is fine.
Even hold on. What you just said. I don't agree with this war. If he would have said that and left it alone,
so you have a problem with him saying that Israel was the reason we started. That's your problem?
Yes, my problem is because it's feeding into a divisive talking point right now in our country while our troops are in the bullseye.
I can't say that he's wrong.
But you can't say he's right either.
No, and that's my problem. You can't say he's wrong either.
That's my problem. Though. When you're that guy, he's not a podcaster. He's not Tucker Carlson.
But if he was putting out something that was a lie, that might be one thing. But we don't know it to be a lie.
but that's my problem. He knows whether it is or not. He knows.
Then maybe he knows it's true.
But at the same time, if you know something's true, you don't come out and undermine the mission that because here's the thing, the president doesn't think that's true. And if I think the president would know if it's true. If I think the president think that's true, then what the hell are we even doing? Burn the whole thing down. It's over. Everybody go home. Even with President Trump.
That's what you like to say. But when you're in that position, you are pressured beyond belief.
Listen, the guy can resign. But he should have just kept his mouth shut on his way out.
That's fine, Deborah. You're right. He was putting out his opinion, and that's fine. He has a right to an opinion.
He has the right to do it, but everybody then now has the right to crucify him for it if they want to.
Why?
Because they do.
They have the right to crucify him, but I'll tell you what they don't have the right to do. Call the man a traitor. You do not have the right to call a man somebody that served this country for 11 tours of combat, somebody that was appointed by Donald Trump to the National Counterterrorism Center because of those 11 tours of combat. You do not have the right, somebody who wrote in that letter, I really appreciate Trump and I thank the time for serving under him. I just don't agree with the war or why it started. You don't have the right to call him a traitor. A traitor is not somebody who resigns. A traitor is somebody who stays in there and actively undermines the investigations, undermines the war by leaking information like they're trying to say he did, or by actually maybe allowing terrorists in there. Then what they're doing, Jay, what they are doing is trying to smear a man because he left there. He left. That's why.
The investigation predated his leaving.
That's what they say. How can you believe that?
Wait a minute. You're saying, how could I believe? Let me step back a second. 1 second.
You're talking about the federal government, and you're saying you believe what they're telling you. 1
second. If it turns out that the investigation happens and it's proven he is a leaker, what do we call him?
Now, I'll tell you right now, if it's proven that he's a leaker, if it's proven in a court of law and he actually leaked, then he is a traitor. That's different. That is different.
Fair enough.
But I'll tell you what's going to happen, Jay. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They're not going to charge him. What's going to end up happening is this is going to be on the news for a few days, then it's going to quietly go away. It's just to stain his fucking reputation. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that.
I don't know that that's what they're doing. If he was hold on. It wasn't released while he was working. Listen, while he's there, they're certainly not going to come out and go, the head of counterterrorism is under investigation.
Exactly right. That's why they did it after he left, to undermine his credibility.
But maybe when he left, he should have just said, I resign, because, and you say, I don't agree with the mission. Leave it there and be quiet. But he went a step further to say, it's because we were goaded by Israel.
It's because of this. It's because of what he said about Israel that you think he's a classified documents leaker.
And listen to what go back to his wife, which he says all the time. He's basically repeating these talking points. And again, people are allowed to have their talking points. People are allowed to have their opinion. But when you leave that position, when you are leaving that position, you need to keep your talking points to yourself.
Thank you, U.S. citizen. If he was under investigation, why would he still have that clearance? Why would he still have access to those documents?
Apparently for a while he's been kept out of a lot of meetings for a long time. Now going to that point, hold on. Going to that point, I had a question that I did ask. Why wasn't he fired sooner? I have that question.
He was never fired.
I have that question. If this what was going on and they knew he was under investigation for leaking, he should have been fired. Now, maybe there's a reason why they didn't fire him.
At least put on leave.
Maybe there's a reason. Again, this is all stuff that I like to give a little time to try and find out a little more information. But it is a valid question. It's a valid question.
Yeah. But what you just said, I want to welcome you back to the fold, my brother, because that's critical thinking right there. Not always agreeing with one side.
Wait a minute. I always critically think.
Agreeing with one side. That's critical thinking.
Listen, come on. Go ahead.
That's critical thinking. You don't want to always agree with, you don't want to just take what the government says at face value, baby. You don't want to say he was, okay, so you're saying he was under investigation prior to his leaving. Yes. I'm going to take that at face value and say, yeah, he must have been under investigation prior to, no, you question it. Why wasn't he fired? Why wasn't he put on administrative leave? I want to welcome you back to the fold, brother.
I've been in the fold. And
critical thinking.
I've been in the fold, and I did have that question yesterday. I did say, well, I think he should have been fired if he was leaking. Maybe they didn't fire him because maybe, Jack, for all we know.
They could have put him on leave.
Well, hold on. Maybe they wanted to keep him around to find more people involved. Who knows?
Now, here's the thing. There you go right there.
Critical thinking.
Now I'm going to have to let you go from the critical thinking club.
No. That's critical thinking.
No, because your critical thinking is where you ask the questions, but you don't make excuses for the questions.
No, I'm asking, is that maybe why he wasn't fired?
No, you don't say that. You say, why wasn't he fired?
I can critically think any way I want.
No, you don't give out scenarios. You ask, why wasn't he fired?
We put out plenty of scenarios. So
but I'm talking about when what we're saying is, and I'm just joking with you because I know you always think critically. I know. We don't just take what, I don't care who is the head of the fucking government. You don't take what they say at face value. Now, Trump, I will believe. Trump, I will trust. But the government, the federal government, and when I say government, I mean FBI. I mean the government, federal law enforcement agencies. I do not take what they say at face value. They say this investigation predates him leaving. I would like to see some proof that it predates him leaving. They say he's allegedly leaking classified files. I would like to see some proof. But what I'm telling you, Jay, you know what's going to happen? I am going to tell you what's going to happen. You heard it first here on Secret America.
You think it's going to go away?
Here is what's going to happen. They are going to do this investigation. It will quietly go away. It will quietly go away. It is an investigation to smear him. That's why they say predates. They're trying to undercut his credibility. That's it. That is it.
I don't want it to go away. If Joe Kent or anybody else leaked information, if he did, the investigation, he needs to be arrested like you or I would be.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
that goes for everybody. All these guys, we're sick. Jack, I'm sick of it all over the place. You're sick of it. We say it all the time. These people are not above the law, right? Nobody's above the law. Of course not.
If he did it, he deserved to go to prison. But I'm saying, what I'm thinking is this is a thing to smear him. And if it is, Jay, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Now, if it's not, if he actually did do this, then what's going to happen is they are going to do the investigation. They are going to charge him and he's going to go on trial. But if he didn't do this, if this was just to smear him, it will quietly go away after a few days or a week of being blasted on the news. Watch. You will know here on America, on A Secret America, you will know if it was either to ruin his reputation or if it was real. If it was real, he will be charged. If it was to ruin his reputation, nothing will happen at all. It will quietly go away.
We'll see. Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. If it quietly goes away, then it quietly goes away, and it was a smear job, and it's called dirty
That's
politics.
all I want. Thank you. Welcome back to the Critical Thinker.
It's been here. My point is, my point is, what is my point now? I think I forgot it. But what I'm saying is, I
don't care. The NCAA tournament's on, dude. I'm not even thinking about what's going on.
Oh, by the way, my team got completely hosed with their seeding. Oh my God. How does St. John's get a 5?
Oh, I picked St. John's to make it to the Elite 8, I think, in my bracket.
Oh, did you?
They got a pretty decent team, man.
Jack, they got screwed. They get sent out west. They got a tough 5. What is it? A 5-12 matchup?
That's the best part, though. That's a good thing, though, because most of the 5-12s, they're a 5 seed, right?
They're a 5.
Yeah. Now, 12-5s are notoriously, evenly matched for some odd reason. Yeah. But this right here, if St. John's has an easier, I think, 12 seed than most 5 seeds. That's why I picked them to make it to the Elite 8. It was either the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16. They're going to make it at least to next weekend.
You're saying next week. Yeah. I mean, who do they got after that if they win? Would it be Kansas?
Yeah. And I have them beating Kansas, actually.
Because last year, St. John's was very, obviously, first round out. That was very disappointing. But this year, I mean, they're playing great down the stretch. They dominated the Big East. I mean, they dominated Connecticut in that tournament. They dominated the tournament, and all of a sudden, they're a 5. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. But you never know the way these things work out, Jack. Sometimes
No, you don't.
And it happens this way. They get and all of a sudden they go on a run. So we'll see. But yeah,
absolutely. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I mean,
where's your team?
I think Wisconsin or somebody, man.
Well, where's your team?
My team are the Tar Heels, but we lost our best player for the end of the season. He's out for the season. So Caleb Wilson is probably going to be the first or second overall pick in next year's draft. He broke his thumb. He's out for the year. So even though we're a 4 or 5 seed, whatever we are, we're not going to go anywhere. We lost our best player.
You don't think they're going to win a game?
Oh, they'll probably win the first round, but that's it. I mean, we're not going to actually make it anywhere that matters.
Gotcha.
What matters is the second weekend.
You want to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's what matters. And I don't think we can make it without him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. You never know.
I love the NCAA tournament, baby. God, it's exciting. I mean, I'm talking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You got 32 teams playing. Then you got 16 teams playing. Upsets, buzzer-beating shots, March Madness, baby. That's what sports is all about.
I just want to let everybody know that I actually had to convince Jack not to cancel the show tonight. Because Jack was ready to watch. I go, we can't cancel the show because of the tournament, Jack. Now, if the Tar Heels make the final, but that would be on the weekend anyway. But if the Tar Heels say an Elite 8 and it's on a weeknight, Jack, maybe I'll cut you some slack and we'll cancel the show. We'll see.
Now they'll never make it that far. It would be nice, but they'll never make it that far. Not without my boy. Without Caleb Wilson, we got decent players, but not Elite 8 players.
Well, listen, we can't cancel next week. We have guests, so we're stuck.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let me put that up again. I want everybody to see this. I want you guys to look at our guest lineup. Okay. We have guests for the next 4 episodes. Okay. Check this out. Take a look at our guest lineup for the next 4 episodes. Dr. Robert Malone tomorrow. That is going to be an awesome episode right there. Dr. Robert Malone. We're going to talk to him about his COVID crusade, what he did there. We're going to talk to him about the ticks. Me and Jay, believe it or not, before this became a thing with the ticks that bite people and suddenly you're allergic to meat, before that became a thing that everybody was talking about, Jay and I put out a video where there was this guy, a WEF linked bioethicist, who actually said he wants to engineer people to be allergic to meat. He said there's a tick out there that if it bites you, the Lone Star tick, if it bites you, you become allergic to meat for the rest of your life. He said that, and then like 2 weeks later, everybody's talking about these ticks. And Robert Malone, Dr. Robert Malone, will have the inside track on that, plus a hell of a lot more. We got a lot to talk to him about. We're going to talk to him about the vaccine schedule that was recently struck down by the judges. You know, the HHS should be able to put out vaccine recommendations. It should not be up to the judges. I mean, hell, they didn't strike down the vaccine schedule when kids had to have 8 shots at one day. They sure as hell didn't strike that down. But now all of a sudden they want to. But then we got Roger Stone Monday, another excellent guest. You know him. He's smart. He was Trump's closest political advisor, Nixon's political advisor, Reagan. I mean, this guy, I was watching the documentary actually earlier of who was it? Who the hell was I watching? It was a documentary about the Murdochs. That's what it's called. It's on Netflix, the Murdochs. They showed a young Roger Stone in that documentary, the Murdochs, about Rupert Murdoch and his newspaper empire and all that. They showed a young Roger Stone in there. That was really cool. Also, Chris Pabst. He is a best-selling author of the book Capital Murder and Failure Factory. He talks about all the Baltimore, Maryland school systems. You are going to love hearing from Chris Pabst. And then we've got Congressman Marlin Stutzman on Wednesday, and we're going to talk to him about a lot of things that have been going on with Congress, including the SAVE Act. We're going to talk to him about a whole bunch of other things. We have Tim Burchett scheduled in May. Tim Burchett will be coming back on the show in May. We may have investigative journalist Ann Vandersteel coming in next Thursday or Friday. That's a possibility. That hasn't been locked down yet. But we're also in talks to schedule Congressman Eric Burleson, who has been on the show before, but actually is the one that led the questioning of Bill and Hillary Clinton during their depositions recently about the whole Epstein thing. So, Jay, we have a whole hell of a lot going on recently. It's going to be, we've got a great next four episodes coming on, and especially the next few weeks, we're going to have tons of guests, man, tons of guests, and it's just exciting stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if you told me in my wildest dreams, if I'd be talking to these people, I would have told you, you're crazy. I mean, it's awesome to be able to talk to them and get their views on these things and ask them the questions. It's great. I can't wait.
It fun?
Robert, yeah, it's a ton of fun.
How else do you meet famous people, or big people that are big in world politics, or how else do you ever get to talk to congressmen? What regular person could call up and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you for 30 minutes or an hour? No, but they come on the show. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And I can't wait for Dr. Malone tomorrow. I mean, there's so many things. I mean,
oh man,
just the COVID stuff, you could do probably 5 hours on.
Oh man, we could, yeah.
But that's going to be awesome. And also, I mean, Roger Stone, obviously legend. We had him on not that long ago, and now there's a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about with him, because he's always, if you don't follow Roger on X, follow him on X, because he's always posting on X. He's really active.
Him and Enrique are really good. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then we have Chris Pabst, and then, of course, the congressman from Indiana, Marlin Stutzman, who I actually saw last night. He was in a X space that was, they had Brandon Gill, Randy Fine, who else was in there? McCormick and Burgess Owens. They were doing a space about the Save America Act, and Marlin Stutzman actually showed up in there. I was like, oh, I know him. We're going to have him on the show.
Yeah,
so it was pretty cool to see him. We'll talk to him about that, and we'll see where the Save Act is at that point next week. Hopefully it's on President Trump's desk. I'm not holding my breath. It's in the Senate right now when they're doing stuff and talking and kind of this quasi filibuster kind of thing. And we'll see. But yeah, great.
It's amazing though, isn't it? I mean, we're able to get, and we're a mid-level podcast. We probably have 30 or so thousand live viewers across all streams during the live show. And then afterwards, people download the show. We over the course of a full week, we might have 100,000 or 200,000 people that watch the show. I'm talking live and, overall, maybe a few 100,000 people, which is a lot of people. It's the size of a good sized city, but it's not, people that get, 5-10 million people that watch. but
Right.
yet we're still able to get some of the bigger names, which is excellent because we like to ask the real questions. On the interviews that you see with a lot of the big people like a Dr. Robert Malone or a Roger Stone or, the big congressman like a Tim Burchett, these people ask the softball boring questions, but we like to ask the real shit. And we invite the audience, if you have questions that you'd like to ask for Dr. Robert Malone tomorrow or Roger Stone on Monday, whatever it is, type them in. We're gonna put out a promo tomorrow that says, Robert Malone is coming on the show tonight. Type them in the comments of that promo. I'm gonna put it out. It's gonna be on the X page at Secret America TV. Okay, we are gonna put a big poster that says, Robert Malone coming on the show tonight. Comment under there any questions you have for Robert Malone. We'll do the same thing for Roger Stone on Monday and for our other guests. We'll put out a promo the same day and you just comment questions underneath. And thank you, Raina, for saying that we will get there. You have no doubt. We really appreciate that because that's where we hope to be one day. I mean, you do this because you want to reach as many people as you possibly can.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. The more people we can reach with our brilliance and genius, Jack, the better off the world will be. And my critical thinking, of course.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
See, the thing is, I don't want people to think that I'm like some kind of Joe Kent apologist. I'm not. What I am is a rational, level-headed, and intelligent person. I can see what's happening. I can see, the fact that this man served America very gallantly for 11 tours and as the National Counterterrorism Center, director. The man resigned. Did he resign in the way you or I would have resigned? Maybe not. But he had the choice to do it. It's his choice. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't, say anything horrible about President Trump. He in fact, he said, all due respect, I appreciated the opportunity to serve under you. The man could have gone about it differently, but was it a traitorous, racist, anti-Semitic thing? I mean, come on, people. Can't we just be level-headed and normal for once in America?
It's getting tougher and tougher to do so. That is for sure. Yeah, it's getting tough. Oh, and Elon, so say, when is Elon coming on? Soon, we hope. But anyway, Elon.
I want Trump on. And in fact, I actually spoke to a couple of people who were supposed to try to get in touch with Trump's people. I mean, we'll see what happens. But when people say that, most people can't get in touch with Trump's people. These are people that are pretty connected too, but they're not Trump connected. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we'll take him for 5 minutes. Give us
hell yeah. If I could ask him one fucking question.
Right, 5 minutes, one question each, and that's it.
There you go.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Hell yeah. And thank you, Cage and Lady said, I truly enjoy Secret America. Very informative, great interactions with the listeners. Secret America will soar. I think that's an eagle. Will soar.
The U.S. flag.
Oh,
it's
okay.
U.S. That's the flag. Yeah, it just doesn't show up on for some reason.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It doesn't show up on this thing. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, that's great. Thank you very much, Cajun Lady. Deborah has been our fan from the very beginning. Deborah was there to listen to Secret America episode 1 on May 2nd. It was either May 2nd or May 4th of 2024. That was our first ever episode. Deborah has been there literally since the first episode. This is Deborah right here, Ultra MAGA. She has been there since the very first episode. It's been almost 2 years now, Deborah. And Raina has also been there since the very first episode. Thank you, guys. And thank you to all the new listeners. We really appreciate each and every one of you that are willing to spend an hour with us each day, because we do this for you guys. We don't do it for us. If we wanted to do it for us, we wouldn't even do it on the show. Him and I would just talk on the damn phone or something. We do this for everybody else.
It seems like we are on the phone all day anyway, but
I know. What people don't know is outside this show, James and I never really talk that much outside the show. We might have texted, once every few days, but Jay and I, we probably text 50 or 60, 80 times an hour, so we're talking basically, except for from the hours of 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., those are the only times we're not talking. Otherwise, we're in constant communication. But that's what makes the show so great. When you're close with your co-host, it makes the show that much better because you got chemistry, you got electricity, you got synergy, and it makes it that much better, I think.
And also the fact that we don't agree on every single thing. It's boring that way. Like
It's
tonight,
very
we had a
boring.
different view on this whole thing. We had a different view on things last night. That makes it, and it's authentic. It's not faking anything. It's the truth.
No.
So that's another thing that we love about this show. So Jack, one more time, throw up our social media and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. We got just this right here, guys. Everybody. X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram, TikTok, even Spotify and Apple. Subscribe. Please subscribe and follow Secret America TV. It's the same on every single social media channel. It really helps more than you can imagine to get the word out. If you repost us, if you reshare, if you subscribe, if you follow, every little bit helps to get the show out there. See, we don't have any advertising. We pay for this show ourselves. We don't make any money on this show. That's the God's honest truth. We don't get paid 1 cent from sponsors, advertisers, from networks, nobody. We do this show on our own time for free. So that's why, we appreciate every subscribe, follow, like, whatever you got. We really appreciate it because it shows that we're making an impact.
And if we do ever start getting paid, we'll let you know.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to be wearing the iced out gold chain. Shit, we got to go. All right. Thank you guys very much. Everybody, for Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.